I really shouldn't be recording me playing any Monster Hunter. I'm, like, pretty fucking tired right now. But, no, start the session. I figured, hey, I'll record this, and if something funny happens, I'm just gonna, like, post a few clips of it. Maybe a very cut-down version of this. Hey, who am I? Why am I even bothering, right? The thing about it, right, the companies don't actually care about you, is that it's true. They really don't actually care about you. You know, it's like, oh, we're trying to, you know, we definitely love you, the guy working here, John Worker, you're the best. And then one day, like, some massive mishap happens, and it's like, oh, fuck. You know, if like, the word gets out that we fucked up big time, like, the company's gonna go under, and we're gonna lose the union. Hey, John, so, like, you know, and thank you for your, like, 5 years of service, but, like, we really need to, like, you know, we really think you've been slacking on the job lately, and, there's probably better opportunities for you out there, or, you know, we think you're, like, you could really, your potential could be a lot better. It comes, like, your wasted potential, and you could really do a lot better with a different company, or in a different field of work. Or fuck, what did they say? It's not like your wasted potential, it's like, we think your talents would be better suited to a different kind of work. Yeah, there you go, there you go. There you go, they say that shit. Oh, come on. The backswing. Oh, and it stunned me too. Fucking stick. Because the system itself was, like, operational. Everything was plugged in where it needed to be plugged in, minus the speakers. And that's because it wasn't ready. There were still, like, things that needed to be, like, built for it that were not ready for it to be speakered. Or tested, really. But, it's fine, because I think the programmer fucked up, so it couldn't be tested anyway. You know, living long and prospering is a good thing. You really want to do that. But part of that is we were, you know, because we're in the office and they don't have a lot for us to do, they're like, alright, stack the refreshments for the party, right? And it's like, yeah, okay, that sounds like an easy task to do, and we do it, but then we're like, how many refreshments do we actually have for this party? And it's like, holy smokes, it's like, there are, God, how many were there? There were like 4 coolers in one room, full of beer. There were 3 coolers in the hallway, 2 of them full of beer, 1 of them full of water and soda, and then 5 more coolers upstairs, also full of beer, and it's like, now we're just like, why are they, you know, they're stacking so many different alcoholic beverages, and it's like, they really just want people to get drunk, and it's like, we're doing this on a Monday? Hello? Like, why are they expecting people to just get fucked up on a Monday night? Like, most of the technicians aren't even, like, going to the party because they're busy adults that have to wake up at, like, early hours in the morning. Like, getting drunk like that is hilarious. Because, like, either you took the day off tomorrow, or you're just gonna tank that shit. And, like, you know, I really want to see a fucking technician just tank the fucking alcohol poisoning the next day and just come to work fucking hungover like a goddamn college student. I just think it'd be funny as shit. The other funny thing is that, and this really sucks, this kind of sucks for me, because I'm the guy playing the game, and I'm the guy you're here watching, I will hope. So, for the longest time, ever since I was like a kid, right, my parents thought I was allergic to, like, soap. Okay, the tail hit me, I guess. Fuck you. Just, like, detergent. And it's because detergent itself is like... I used to wash the dishes, and the dishes used to like... I used to wash the dishes with like rubber gloves on, and because of that my parents thought that rubber gloves, or they thought that the detergent itself was like bad for my hands. And the reason behind that was because when I would be done, after a while, my hands would like start drying up and cracking. And they were like, what the hell's going on? Why his hands are like fucked up like that? And we went to a doctor, and the doctor was like, it's because of the detergent. He's allergic to the detergent. Which, you know, it's not the weirdest sounding shit ever. Because, like, people can be allergic to anything, really. But it did seem weird to me because, like, whatever is in hand soap is, like, also in that kind of detergent. So it's like... Or, like, that dishwashing soap. Because it's just soap. So I'm like, okay... like, how am I allergic to dishwashing soap, but not, like, regular soap? And that was never really answered. And we're always like, I guess they just have different chemicals. But we never bothered to really look into the actual, like, chemical difference between hand sanitizer and, like, hand soap and, like, dishwashing soap. So we just assumed it was different, and it was causing me, like, terrible rashes and like, infections in my hands that would, like, make my skin crackle and peel. But lo and behold, recently I've been getting those kinds of hands again, and I know exactly what caused them. And it is, in fact... the fact that I didn't... So, when you work, you normally have work gloves on. Now, work gloves are also rubber, because they want to be insulators. Now, the other thing about rubber is it's not good for the human skin to be in contact with rubber for that long, mostly because it's just not like... it dries it up and stuff. Or, I'm sure there's a better way I can explain it, but, like, it's just not good for it to really stay in contact with the human skin. And because I had my gloves for, like, an extended period of time on, it did it again. It caused my skin to dry up and crackle. And I'm like, well, mystery solved. I'm not, in fact, allergic to dishwashing soap. I'm just, like, having a normal reaction to fucking... I'm just having a normal fucking... I'm having a normal one to having rubber grind up against my skin for long periods of time, especially if you sweat. It actually gets worse if you, like, sweat heavily and you have, like rubber on you. Because now it's just... it's, like, just piling up all of that, like, nasty sweat shit. And you're just getting, like, gross, sweaty, and rubbery hands, and it's like, oh, it's nasty, and then one day, like, if you don't moisturize your hands enough, they, like, crackle and peel, and it's really bad. Anyways, I didn't moisturize for a while, because I'm just, like, ignorant like that, and, of course, my hands got really fucked up. This is not something I particularly care about. However... being someone of, like, mild importance in a company like this, you're gonna shake hands with people. And thankfully, the person who wanted to shake my hand was of little consequence, because it was someone from sales. But, you know, we were both making coffee at the coffee maker, and she's like... oh my god. And she's like, oh, I thought my coffee was about to overflow. And I'm like, nah, you're good. I would have told you something, right? And she's like, hi, I'm so-and-so. And I'm like, fuck. She's right-handed. Fuck. And I'm like looking at my right hand, and I'm like, well, I can't fucking... I cannot shake her hand with my fucked up, gross monster hand that is, like, crackled and peeling. I'm like, I awkwardly go for my left hand to like signal, hey, I'm left-handed, but then I'm like, no, that's stupid. So I stop, and she's like, oh, I get it, fist bump. And I'm like, okay, that was... She acknowledged that was fucking weird, but at least she saved it. And I could have said nothing, but instead I'm like, oh yeah, no, my hand is like... Sorry, my hand is like kind of gross and fucked up right now. And... it's a bit of an awkward silence. And then we quickly moved on to the next topic, so like I very much think we forgot all about it. At least I would like to think so, and that she remembers me in a more favorable way, in a way that isn't just like me trying to talk about my weird gross hand. I explained that I'm in the install team, and I'm sure she's experienced plenty of guys in the install team, like, just having, like, injuries in a way that's like, oh, yeah, I guess your, like, hand is bleeding and you don't want to just, like, put that on me. And it's like, yeah, of course. But, you know, it just highlights how kind of fucking awkward I am sometimes. Like, I'm doing all this banter talk right now, and now it's lame. I don't know why I said that. Well, I don't know why I said it like that. When you, like, call yourself out for, like, yeah, I'm bantering, I'm so, like, talkative, it suddenly gets really awkward. But, I don't know. I guess I just am this way. I always hope that one day I become less awkward, but instead you kind of just get older and you're like, oh, I guess this is just the way that I am, and I should just accept it. There's nothing wrong with, like, being a little awkward. In fact, I think most humans experience a little bit of awkwardness in their lives. It's a beautiful and natural thing, and you really should embrace it, but understand why you, like, have these feelings about your awkwardness. Because it usually has to do with, like, feeling embarrassed about something. Which, like, the whole word embarrassment is... I had another, like, discussion about that, where, like, I remember my friend telling me that humiliation is like being embarrassed, or like I thought being humiliated means like to be embarrassed, and like to be embarrassed and ashamed of like one's actions, and it's like, no, it's like first real meaning is like to have one's social standing like be lowered, and I'm like, that's fascinating, having such a like different meaning. And it's like, well, I guess it's not that different, right? Because it's still... Being, like, embarrassed and ashamed might also entail having your social standing lowered. But it's... The main definition of or, like, humiliated is... Like, the way people use the word humiliated is, like, in a way that is, like, you are embarrassed. So, with that in mind, I'm like, yeah, of course people, like, don't really use the word like they used to. And then, like, people online will be like, no, actually, I'm, like, well, they're kind of the same word, so really they're being used the same way. And it's like, okay, Einstein, I understand why you say this, but also, like, you don't actually, when you use the word humiliation, you don't actually use it in a way that is, like... in a way that is the same kind of, like, way it's always meant. You use it in... You use it in, like, the modern definition of it, quote-unquote modern, which is, like, as you are being embarrassed. And because you're being... And it's like, well, actually, I knew that it, like, meant this. Well, actually, I knew all about how it meant, like, lowering one's social standing. Plus, they're, like, similar enough words that, like, I'm not saying that they're similar. I'm saying you just didn't even know that it was being used in that way. Right? Like, its older definition was being your social standing lowered, and it's like, yeah, but they're still similar. And it's like, they've changed enough to the point where, like, people don't really use it like that. It is kind of, like, literally, too. Like, the literal definition of being humiliated is two things. It is to be embarrassed and ashamed of, like, one's action is being, like, pointed out to them, but also having one's social standing being lowered. And it's like, okay, I guess they could be synonyms, but, like, they're given two definitions of being both A and B on Merriam-Webster Dictionary. They are two different things. I guess you could combine them and say it's both these things, but, like, the point is that being humiliated is a two-step, like, it is two things. And it's like, oh, but, like, I knew that it was actually both these things because I, like, have used it in that way. And it's like, okay, I'm not saying you specific, like, I'm not saying like here you specifically don't use it the correct way. I'm saying the general populace will not use this word the same way because it is, like, not something that they think about often, because to them the word, it just means embarrassed and ashamed. But, like, sure, whatever, flex your English degree at me, because you definitely always knew that it had two meanings and have definitely won the argument. Congratulations. You have a gold star, I guess. You know what's fucked up? The fact that language does evolve like that. I mean, the original post about it was actually more interesting than whatever the fuck I'm talking about with, like, oh, being humiliated is, like, not, like, we're kind of using it in the wrong way when it's, like, we're really not. Like, we're really using it in a perfectly acceptable way that is still within the relevance of the origin of the word. But the original argument for that was, like, somebody asked what hibachi was, and it's like, that means food that is, like, prepared live in front of you, right? And it's like, technically, it isn't. Hibachi is, like, its literal definition is not that. So, us shit-ass Americans, obviously, decided to coin the phrase hibachi as, like, food that is prepared live. Even though the technically official phrase for it is, like, tenkoyama or something like that. I don't, like, 100% remember what it is, but it isn't, like, it is not hibachi. It is something else that is that hibachi is derogatized from. And because it is derogatized, its, like, origin is a little lost. So hibachi's actual meaning is that it is a type of, like, crock pot that the Japanese use to, like, simmer their food, and usually it is done in, like, a way where you can, like, see the crock pot. Usually, though, not all the time, but usually. So, like, hibachi traditionally meant, like, a type of crock pot used in Japan to, like, eat, like, slow cook food. Where, like, once it came over to America, we, like, didn't really bother to properly, like, learn the origins of anything, so we're like, oh yeah, live food cooking, hibachi. Always has been. And it's like, that's, you know, I think that's less like how language evolves over time and more like how shit-ass Americans are about shit. Man, I haven't, like, I'm looking at this environment, and I do love how pretty Monster Hunter really is. Sometimes. These maps are, like, really washed out with a lot of grays that I really don't think should actually be here. But, you know, at the end of the day, this is my favorite map in world, and it's purely because I can actually navigate it and tell what the fuck is happening. I realize I've been fighting the Black Diabolos and haven't, like, really talked about him. There's not much to say about this fucker. I just hate his stupid ass. That's, like, a thing you get when you, like, you know, you succeed at something very big and important. You don't just go out and you're like, oh man, I'm gonna get fucking Korean barbecue today on my own. Like, you go out with buddies, you celebrate some. It's expensive. It's like, what, $30 per person? Usually. It's a lot of fucking money. You can't just be eating like a king every day. Sometimes you gotta make the fucking car payment, buddy. But shit. I grew up in a place that was basically called like Little Korea, and one of my coworkers makes fun of that too. He will like jokingly call me like Mr. Korea, which is funny because I'm not Korean at all. Like I don't think I have a single Asian relative. So it's both like funny and weird, but like weird in like a we're kind of like awkward co-workers way. But I could like fuck up some goddamn calamari right about now. The only thing about, but I could like, because like hibachi and KBB are like not the same. Like the reason it even came up is because I'm thinking of Korean barbecue is like that's kind of hibachi, because like the chef kind of will cook for you sometimes, but it's usually in cases where like it's in cases where like they think you aren't really capable of cooking your own food. Like, you know, there are some places that I've gone to where they ask you like, you guys cooking yourselves? And we're like, yes, because again, good friend of mine knows how to make that shit taste good. He is the grill master. I trust him with the grill. But other times it's like, man, I really don't feel like playing with my food before I actually fucking eat it. I'd rather just have the food ready and eat it. And you know, a lot of it is like, well, like I have to think about who is making the food because they probably live off tips. And it's like, they will constantly like hover around your table or like be very nice to you, and it's like that's all fine, but like in the back of my mind I'm like, they want to tip so bad. And usually I do tip, but it's at restaurants because, you know, when you do like cafe tips or whatever, it's basically pointless. It's all distributed in like a really stupid way. Like I was talking to a barista about this, and it very much is like, yeah, we're getting tips, but the tips are pretty much split up in a way where, like, everyone is getting, like, the sum based on however much tipping we got together. That doesn't make any sense. Basically, it all gets put in a giant tip jar that gets, like, evenly split among all the employees. And it's like, oh, that sounds awful. Because not only that, but it also, like, the company can go, like, and a little bit of it goes to us because we deserve it. And now it's like, you're not even... That really fucking sucks, you know? For, like, getting a tip of, like, $200. And then that shit gets split with your 5 other coworkers. And it's like, damn, that fucking sucks. You know? Like, now I'm getting to keep, like, $40. This sucks so much. Alright, so I've decided peace is no longer an option, so I built a gun and I'm gonna go kill Thanos. Now, see, here's my problem. I started fighting the Elder Dragons. Now here's my second problem. I'm losing. So I looked up some guides, and it seems to me like there's too much violence and sex on TV. So where are those good old-fashioned values, of which we used to rely on? Lucky, there's a gun guy. Alright, so I'm essentially going to be building... I'm running this funny gun because I just like the gun. Sometimes you just want a fucking gun to shoot down the wildlife, you know what I'm saying? You know, pro hunting, like pro hunt aficionados. Can I get a fist bump? The fucking like hunt the like hunting games that I don't know anything about other than like they get absolutely insane later. I don't even remember what they're called. It's like Extreme Hunting with Dad or whatever. There's one where it's like 2 brothers and they're in fucking Africa. And, you know, one of the brothers is like a wildlife conservationalist, and then he starts gunning down all the fucking water buffalo and leopards. And the guy, and it's like, by the end, his kill count is like over fucking 100, and it's like, geez, man, who are you preserving, yourself? I mean, I get it, I too am a bit of a wildlife, but like, Jesus Christ, man, calm down. You ain't gotta kill so many. Alright, so we're gonna hunt bagel juice. Now, I hate this monster, as I hate most monsters in this game, because, see, the thing about loving Monster Hunter is that you actually have to hate Monster Hunter, right? It comes with the territory, and that's not right. So, because of that, I'm gonna be just engaging with it head-on, and go cook this goose as hard as I can. Now, first things first, I need to change my equipment back to something, like, actually usable. I'm not going to be spending too much time playing more Monster Hunter, and to be honest, a lot of the discussion points on Monster Hunter is very, like, well, at least, you know, they're not, like, worn out or anything. I have plenty to discuss about, in terms of how I feel about certain things about Monster Hunter, and that I have, like, a love-hate relationship for it. Monster Hunter is the game that I desperately love, but I also desperately hate, and I mostly hate the direction they're going with it, where it feels less and less like an actual, like, hunting-gathering game, and it's just like, we're making Devil May Cry, guys. Do you like Devil May Cry? We made it. And they're like, good, I hope you like it forever, because that's all we have. Devil May Cry and Devil May Cry and Devil May Cry and Monster May Cry. Like, I was watching somebody play Wilds, and all I could think about was like, dude, this, you know, like, one, it was some wyvern that I don't even recognize. Fuck, I forgot to eat. Son of a bitch. It's fine. It's okay. We'll eat on the job. This is acceptable. Thank you, health boost. But, you know, I'm watching people play the new Monster Hunter, right? Like, I'm watching just a stream of the new Monster Hunter. And all I can think of is just like, holy moly. The fucking archer is moving faster than I think humans are physically able to. And the monster is like ramming its claws through the sand to like fucking uppercut someone, like a full crescent swing. And I'm like, I don't think animals do that. I'm told that some owls do this, allegedly. They like will run their wings through the ground and like throw sand at people. And I'm like, man, what an inefficient way to like hunt. You know, your wings are set. Your wings are like your whole life as an owl. You lose those, you like, it's over. It's so over for you. But again, this is just kind of what I've been told, as I really don't. Oh, there we go. Now we're fucking talking. Yes. Yeah. More rush. More rush. Oh, my health is huge! Hey, yo! No wonder you get the fucking health boost charm. This is sick. I really need to finish it off then. But first, we gotta kill a big old fucking goose. Alright, so let me talk about the gun lance real quick. First things first is the lance. Second thing is second, you do this. And, yeah, that's about all you need to know. Get out of there. I'm told that this weapon is, like, bad, apparently, in World, and it's not that I find it hard to believe, it's just that what people decide is it isn't good about weapons in these kinds of games is very arbitrary. A lot of it is, like, based around how much damage can you output, and what is the, like, evolution tree. And in my mind, I'm like, the damage output on this thing seems fine, but I think it's just because it's easier to use than, like, a switch axe. Or, like, the charge blade. Because the charge blade is a little more difficult to use. Namely, in the sense that you need to, like, swap between the modes more often. And Sword and Shield apparently has, like, crazy high damage output and is just the best weapon in this game, despite it being so, like, small and funny. I just assumed it was because they had, like, a really quick moveset and that you could use items more easily. Like, you stow that shit away super fast, so you have even faster access to your items if you're, like, in a pinch. But no, it apparently also just does a lot more damage than you would think. But yeah, no. I don't know how to feel about the newer Monster Hunters. People love them, people hate them. It's like, I like Rise. I like that it's more of a character action game, that it, like, speeds up a lot of the incessant, like, constant farming. But I also wish I could go back to a time where it was like, man, these games used to be so simple. Monster go, and then they swing their big old fucking tail and you block or dodge it. And I'm like, man, this is nice. I remember to hold the block button. And, some people would say, but that's not challenging, I want a challenge. And sometimes I'm like, man, I work a 9 to 5 where I, like, break down fucking pallets. I don't need a game that also asks me to fucking graduate in monster hunting curriculum in order to fucking play it, alright? No, come on, don't leave. No! Fucker. No! Where the fuck you go? Man, here I am picking the skeleton apart like a fucking hyena. Part's broken, what the fuck? Where's this happening? Who's fighting Basil Goose? Without me knowing about it. What the fuck is going on here? Yo. This game's quiet. I never realized how quiet Monster Hunter really can be when there's, like, no monsters. And you know what? That's kind of a good thing. Like I said, old Monster Hunter really was just, like, a simple fucking game about her hunting monsters. And sometimes, it just had to remind you that you are the hunter-gatherer. Do I think, like, Monster Hunter 1 is the best game in the series? Fuck no. But I do have an appreciation for Monster Hunter 1 and the way that, like, it kind of reminds you that you're nothing special, kid. You're just a tourist like everyone else. Like, sometimes you need a certain kind of game to just remind a player that, like, they're a part of nature too. And part of that is Monster Hunter's MO, right? It constantly pushes the player to be, like, this super action-heavy, like, hero, when it's like, sometimes you just gotta remind a motherfucker that they're, like, part of the food chain. Right? Like, sometimes a bitch will freeze up and, turn into burger. Like, sometimes a bitch will freeze up and then, like, as a wolf is about to bite on her, and it's like, that's not being a, like, herbivore, that's, that's not being a fucking prey animal, that's just being a fucking burger. Like, you just need a game to remind you that you are a burger. You know, that's what I'm saying. How's it going, Concrete? My friend's cat. What a good name for a cat. My cat's name is alright. I don't love Homewrecker, but I do think it is a very funny name. Especially if you want to believe that this cat, like, has made someone cheat with them. Perhaps that is why they have joined the New World. I choose to believe the lore of Homewrecker is that they, in fact, stole somebody's wife, and the male cat in that dynamic was about to fucking kill them and skin them alive, So they fled here to the New World in the hopes of escaping their just punishment. And then they found me, and because I cannot understand them, then none of that mattered. Now where the fuck is the goose? Where's the goose at? Yo, is the goose loose? Is the goose choose? Sometimes in Monster Hunter you also just pick up some of the weirdest shit, and I'm like so glad we're not where we used to be. But like, I think in fact World is just the good middle point. It's a good mix between collectathon and action game, and really, I'm fine with them keep like still pushing the character action angle, but to a certain point, it's like I think we're forgetting what this series is about. You know, not to mention the story. Like, sometimes you do need a quiet, more ambient game to remind you that you're a part of nature. And the story of Monster Hunter is nothing like this. It is loud and it tries to make you as important of a hunter as possible. You are the specialist boy or girl, and you are trying to... Well, you're not really trying to do anything. They give the player, like, no real agency in these stories. You're like a blank slate, and that's part of the issue. It's why games like... You know, I was talking about Vermintide versus Darktide, and it's like, Darktide is, like, fine. I like it. You know, I've never been a huge, like, 40k guy. But I like 40k. I think it's nifty. You know, I just kind of wish it stopped focusing so much on the fucking humans, but that's... You know, people will tell me I'm wrong about that, but it's like, I don't really give a shit about, like, the hyper, religious human, empire. I want to know what the fucking Xenos are doing, because I think they're interesting. But like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm a minority in this, where if I wanted to see, like, Xenos fight each other, they would just tell me to go find a different, like, the tabletop game. But the point I was making was Darktide as a game is like fun, but like I'm so not invested in anything that is happening in the story, whereas with Vermintide, I was pretty invested in some of the shit that was happening. The game was cool. The game had like a lot of stuff going on with Kruber, the dwarf, I'm forgetting his name. Or you remember them more for like their personalities and how they bounce off each other, less than like what their classes could do. Whereas I'm thinking about when I think about Darktide, I just think about, you know, I'm playing the veteran. He is the veteran class. I'm not thinking about my character who has my character's name. And I get why this was the decision they went with. And it is like 100% because in Darktide, or like in fucking 40k, being a named character is like a privilege, right? Most characters are not named characters in that universe because they're usually preserved for like some kind of fucking demigod or a character that can challenge the infinite universe to win a duel. There's truly, you know, you're either a fucking nobody in the 40k universe or you're like the most important guy ever. There really is no in between. And it's amazing that they have at least a couple of named characters in Darktide, because to be frankly honest, I didn't think they'd have any. Like, the player character isn't named, but I also, you know, they wanted to allow for player expression, but I'm just thinking, like, you know, part of why infinite horde shooters work is that most of these characters are named. You know? Like, Left 4 Dead has named characters, and people love playing them, and even have their own styles of playing these named characters. Even Vermintide has, like, customization between the named characters. It's not like there's not one true way to play Spectre. Sorry, I'm being quiet. I really need to, like, lock in and, like, focus on blocking the stupid creature. I had to do that. Like, it's just that part of the 4-man infinite horde shooter is the personality of the characters. That's why people come to these games. And, like, I'm not saying that Darktide having unnamed characters that are just, like, player inserts is, like, killing the game. The fact that they had a kind of shitty release is what's, you know, was ultimately killing the game. Because at the end of the day, their release was not great, and it was a while until they could really get it in a state that was considered at least fun and playable. Oh god, let me remember release. Release had actually no like class customization. There was truly only one way to play most classes, with like some variants here and there. There was no weapon like rerolling for traits and attributes. Ow, what the fuck? Now, some may comment here and say that me, slow switching items is dumb and a terrible idea. I, however, will say, it's an old school tradition that I've carried on. Yeah, it's bad. I'm not used to it. I'm not used to using the wheel, mostly because, like, I need to actually customize it. It's similar to how I was doing Shulk in Ultimate, where for the longest time I just didn't use the Monado wheel because I was like, oh, it's like dummy and like hard to use when it's like really not. Like, I switch between fast switching and wheel, the difference being I don't know, like, I don't know everything that is on my wheel and, like, how to use it. But basically, I should be, like, at least setting it up before I go into every hunt. Okay. Motherfucker. Ugh. Oh, I'm sleepy. I always record these after work, and it's not like work is the easiest thing ever. Like, one should know that work is very difficult. The fuck am I saying? Of course work is difficult. I'm trying to remember a lot of the other issues that Vermintide had on release. Or, sorry, Darktide had on release. And boy howdy, it was not that much stuff, but it was kind of underwhelming how much stuff they said would be in the game but wasn't. The story was even less present. It really was just like you working your way up the ranks and then very occasionally getting a cutscene that would show that you've gotten anywhere. And part of that was just like, oh, okay, I guess this is happening at, like, this level. That's fucking crazy. Do you think those are, like, Basilgoose eggs that he's, like, shitting out? Or do you think that's, like, you know, how, like, we humans drop a scab or something? Like, what is this to the Basilgoose? I'm trying to ride him. Oh. Oh, he's doing something. Truly, I don't think Monster Hunter names are actually that bad, and anyone that says Monster Hunter names are, like, insane or impossible to spell just, like, sucks at spelling in general. It's gonna get kind of close, actually. I don't know if I can kill him in the next 5 minutes. I'll at least get some parts for my efforts, but I think my damage output is kind of bad. I think my friend might have been right. I think maybe the Ice Spear is kind of suck-ass. Oh, come on. He has time to roar and fucking... charge me. Oh, hey, look at that. I think one of the things I hate about Elder Dragons the most is just how... So, I didn't know if this is correct or not, but what I was told is that they do not break parts until they're just about to die. And I think that's fucking insane. Like, this game already doesn't have health bars. And I think that's fine. Big fat asterisk. It's fine in modern Monster Hunter that they don't have health bars, because in modern Monster Hunter there's been an effort to show you parts of the monster breaking and really exploiting their weak zones. Part of that also means that because you can exploit weak zones and break parts, it is a good way for you to tell how much damage you've done to the monsters, and that means how close you are to killing them. Like, that Basil Goose basically was missing its entire front head and tail, so it's like, yeah, bro's kind of cooked. But, like, why the fuck, then, do Elder Dragons... Ghost. Can't see me. I'm inside the goose. Why the fuck do Elder Dragons not actually, like, break anything? Right? They just start breaking parts when they're about to die. Because fuck you, I guess. Like, one of our most... Resentment skill, what the fuck? Send that shit in my box anyway. Like, one of our core ideas, really, that, like, the more parts you break, the closer the monster is, like, any kind of indication that the monster is about to eat shit and die, fucking gone, because we wanted the fight to be more difficult, I guess. And, like, why? Why do that, man? There's a lot of really questionable shit about Monster Hunter that I'm just kind of like, why do any of this? Because, like, at the end of the day, Monster Hunter is a game about, like, not just improving your ability to, like, kill a monster that is, like, terrorizing the local populace, but also the fucking... Not only is Monster Hunter a game about killing monsters that terrorize the local populace, but it's also a game about, you know, carving them and turning them into a nice mantelpiece. Like, it genuinely kind of confuses me why... I don't know what the fuck I was trying to say. Monster Hunter isn't just a game about killing a lot of monsters, it's also a game that has to do with, like, getting indications. Like, I've been talking this whole time about, like, the fucking ideas of, like, living in nature and being one with the universe or whatever, and then I check back and I think about how Monster Hunter's been evolving, and I'm just like... Oh yeah, you know, being Dante from Devil May Cry is, like, very universal. It is a universal experience that everyone from Monster Hunter experiences if they're a hunter. And it's like, sure, I guess I could experience that too if I were a fucking dweeb. Because, like, at the end of the day... You know, Monster Hunter is a game about being in nature. You are hunting. So, like... Why is it, like, so fucked that the hunt is, like, awful. I'm trying to think of like how to improve the builds because my items are definitely way too weak, but I don't know what to build because these items allow me to like actually do damage. And you know what? I'm gonna come back to that question at some point because I'm still figuring it out. Alright, it's been a long day. I'm ready to figure out exactly what the hell I need to get done today. If I remember right, the goal of this... If I remember right, the goal at the moment was to fight Nergigante again so that I can get the final gem for the level 3 health medallion. So, let's go do that. Alright, Nergigante is on my to-kill list. I have such a list that is necessary. Much like an exterminator, I have a punch list of animals I need to kill in a day. Oh shit, wait, Poogie Vent's back. I just realized. That's sick. Thanks, Poogie. You're the best. Investigations. Wait, have any Nergigante investigations? I guess I could clean up these optional quests, because some of them actually improve my hunting, whatchamacallit, the fleet area. Okay, Gastrodons. I still need to, like, kill some Gastrodons if I'm correct. Oh! Alright, hunt the... Okay. Alright, I've checked all the things. Now, let's see here. I didn't make a checklist of what armor I need, because, you know, the armor I'm currently rocking is pretty outdated and bad. So, having something that is better would be really useful. In my mind, I'm like, I could just make a full Nerg set, right? And, like, that's fine. But I really don't know how good that would be. At least something that is rarity, like, 7 up. Right? Oh, this is not bad at all. This is much better than my fucking Lumu vest. Ooh, this is really nice. Sure, man, sir. Yeah, put that shit on. Attack boost. What did the Lumu vest give me? Fucking, how to make a set in Monster Hunter. First you need the Piku artillery. Okay. How to make a set in Monster Hunter. First you need the Piku Miku set, then you need the fucking Janku Monku Greaves, but make sure you pair it up with the fucking Itachi Prime helmet that gives you a free meal every 3 times you die. This shit makes no sense out of context, is what I'm trying to say. Which is very funny. But once you, like, sit down and you're like, oh, that's just, like, the monster's name, basically. But it's like, it's not even that. Lumu is, like, it's like Palulomo, and it's like, why are we calling him Lumu? Because it's a shortened version? Alright. Good enough for me, I guess. Where the fuck is artillery at? A very important reason. There we go. Damn. Really not that many things with artillery on them. I need to wear the bug helmet. I have to keep wearing the silly bug helmet. Alright, heavy artillery will do fine. I need gauntlets. You know, I should just put on the fucking Damascus Greaves. Alright, and I think that's the set. This is the new and improved set. Focus, some heavy artillery. The reason, you might be wondering, why I'm even, like, considering artillery on this build, and the answer is, like, very, very simple. Artillery increases the damage of my vials for some reason. I don't get it either, but it does. It sure does. Alright, now let's upgrade all this stuff. Alright. Like, I don't understand if I'm firing a cannon at them, but according to the game I am, it's just a very strange thing. And Monster Hunter is just one of these kinds of games. Sometimes there's just mechanics in it that work in like a strange way that doesn't make any sense to you. So it's best to just kind of accept it the way they are and just be like, alright, whack. But I'll take it. Sprinter's not bad either. Tenderizer's a classic. I love taking Tenderizer, because this is the one that's like increased damage. Oh, fuck. Where is it? Tenderizer, yeah, increases the affinity of attacks and exploiting monsters' weak spot. I love Tenderizer. We can just slap on a bunch of defense tools, right? Defense, drain, defense, medicine, attack tools already in my helmet. What else do I have? Alright, yeah, sure. Why not? Yesterday I was explaining to someone, like, Akimbo Glizzies. You know, none of you probably know what I'm talking about. Like, the Glizzies Akimbo, or Akimbo Glizzies, is like this video of this guy, and he's like eating 2 hot dogs in the same hand. And it's just like someone walks up to him while he's doing this in his car, and he like sees that someone shows up and like sneaks up on him to like film him eating his dual glizzies, and just like starts like meekly putting that shit away. But I think the funniest thing about it is right, it's like a funny video on its own, but what's funnier about it is like the comment section going crazy, and it's like dual wielding hot dogs, man, I can't believe I'm watching man dual wield hot dogs, or like two-handing the schloinks is crazy. But like someone is like, nah, Kimbo Glizzies is diabolical, and I think that's the best one by far. And that's the one that like stuck with most people. It was very polite of Nerd to not attack me immediately. Hello everyone, this is me, and doing the like Nerd Gigante podcast. Oh, he's like scratching himself. Oh, he's screaming. Alright, enough, nerd. I'm not sure if heavy artillery is in fact doing more for me. It may not be. Oh, medicine gems going kind of popping off. Oh shit, I'm writing, nerd. Maybe heavy artillery is doing a lot. Damn. Dr. Seuss, but it's like Monster Hunter monsters. I mean, what are Monster Hunter monster names if not just Dr. Seuss names? They are some made-up shit that sounds kind of cool. It is like Japan's version of Dr. Seuss. The Nerd Gigante, the Valvazak, the Fatalis, the Big Bongo. The Western Hopgopper. You know, I don't know if the Monster Hunter monsters are... I know some of them are. Like, the Kirin and the Rajang are definitely, like, based in real mythology. But then, like, you know, the fuck is Nergigante based on? Is he, like, the European-themed monster? Like, what's going on with him? Oh, this armor rating is way, 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 way better than the shit I used to have. Oh! Alright, you got me, you got me. Big man got me. Hey man, cut it. Calm down, calm down. Oh shit, is he fucking shockproof? I didn't actually, I didn't know that about him. Whoa, he's shockproof. I didn't know that. How do I wonder how I feel about Sonic sometimes, because I don't, like, hate Sonic, and I love the memes that have been coming out of the 3 Sonic games. But I'm also, like, I just don't, like, care for Sonic. It's one of those franchises that's, like, I acknowledge it exists, but it's like, I have no attachment to it whatsoever. A friend of mine is, like, a big, you know, Sonic fella. But all I can think of is, like, I just don't get it. But I suppose that's similar to a lot of fandoms. You know, like, a lot of people might not get 40K. Because it's like, 40K is already such a, like, niche thing to really get into. I say niche when, like, it's one of the most, like, high-selling franchises ever. But it's, like... It's more, what I mean by that more is, like, normal people can't really get into 40K because it's so, like, dark, edgy, and depressing. Although to some people that's, like, what they love about it. It's like having a coworker be into, like, fucking deathcore metal or, like, grindcore. It's like, I get that this isn't for Norwegian death metal. Yeah, good old Norwegian death metal, nothing beats that. Where it's like, I don't have to, like, understand. I don't have to, like it too, but oh, I get it. You got your own shit you're into. It's obscure, but it's, like, obscure in, like, a funny way. Like, it's obscure in a way that... like, you can understand why someone is interested in this kind of, like, medium, but you definitely recognize that it is 100% not for you. You know what's fun? Pizza parties. You know, when I was thinking to myself about, like, what I'm gonna do today for lunch, I was, like, not expecting my work to have, like, a fun pizza party today. Mostly because, like, they were still recovering from that, like, 5th of May party where they just had everyone using, like, they were doing, like, poker and shit. And I was told, I didn't go with that, right? Because I'm like, yeah, man, I just don't really feel like partying like that. At least not anymore. So, it's funny to hear when people were like, yeah, some of our, like, employees just all in and then lost all their shit. And I'm like, imagine, like, all-inning on the fucking company, like all-inning all your money from the company and just funneling it back to the company in one way or another. Isn't that kind of, like, fucked in some way? It's like a bank loaning you money and then you just, that shit has to go back to them. Like, and you know, the bank loans you all that money in order to put in, like, a store, and then that store has to, like, to put all the and in that store, right? You sell like bottles or whatever, right? Well, every bottle you sell basically just goes back to the bank in one way or another. You're really just becoming like one of the bank's assets. I'm not saying anything new here. This has been like known for years that like banks essentially dominate the world and just can like make infinite assets of whatever. But, you know, imagine like the idea here is stores kind of just exist to like be funnels for the bank in order to make a profit. The other thing I was thinking of is Expedition 33. Like, obviously, it looks like such an interesting game. And by interesting, I mean French. But I do think it looks like a really cool game. The game did not have me hooked when I first saw the trailers. It looked really melodramatic in, like, a really cheesy way that looked like it was going to be bad on release. Like, you ever seen like a mid-2000s trailer for a game where you're like, yeah, this doesn't stand a fucking chance? And like, that's how I felt about fucking Clair Obscur. Like, I'm trying to think here, like, what's a good example of like a game that like you're like, oh, this doesn't stand a fucking chance. But like, I don't remember any of the examples because, hey, they didn't stand a chance and now they're fucking gone. So, you know, take that for what you will. Oh, I know. Flintlock, Siege at Dawn. Not a like non-modern game. It is a more modern game, but also it is a game that definitely did not do much on release. But I'm trying to think here. Oh, big copy. But I'm really trying to think here of a game that was coming out in the early 2000s where you just looked at it and you're like, this is not going to do anything. This is like a market dump, like a market pump and dump. Okay. I hit him in the horns. Like a matador. Would you all be a common matador if, like, given the option? Fuck! I rolled too early. That was, yeah, he definitely caught me with that. Okay. Well, can I still get the chef's, like, daily bonus? Like, chef's meal of the day, or... No. Oh, I can still get fresh ingredients. I can't. Oh, because I've already used them. That's a shame. Alright, we'll get the all my since up. What the fuck ever. Did my... how many rations? Yep. Okay. Oh, like I'm thinking about... Oh, Brink! Yes! That's what I was thinking about. Like a video game released in the mid-2000s that just didn't stand a fucking chance. Like, I look at Brink, and Clair Obscur is, like, similarly weird... Like... Well, Clair Obscur doesn't, like, make itself look... What's the word I'm looking for here? What the fuck, dude? Alright, okay, hold on. Here's what we do. Alright. We try this again. Here's a super secret tactic that Capcom doesn't want you to know. And it's that if you abandon the quest, you get to keep all your shit. And you get all your items back. Isn't that amazing? Alright, we're gonna try that again. Hopefully this time... I can do something about it. You know what's fucked up? How, like, much sleep affects your anything. I'm here functioning off of, like, not a lot of sleep because I was playing a different game that I'm not playing for this video. And, it's not because I'm bad at calling, like, time to go, we're done playing. But because I would play for, like, what, 30 minutes and then go to fucking bed. It's just not fair. But, you know, that's what life is. You can't... You can't exactly, like... Sometimes you have a job, because that's what pays for all the toys. And, you know, you can't really do anything about that, because jobs take up so much of your fucking time. Other than, like, just not doing them. But that's not fun. Like, that's when you, like, live on the fucking streets. Man, I can't, like, continue a cohesive thought when I don't have, like, the ability to think properly and with agency. It is fucked up that 8 hours is the time you need to sleep, because that's, like, 8 and 8, and you... At the end of the day, you get, like... What? You have 8 hours to work, 8 hours to sleep, except part of that is work doesn't actually acknowledge the time it takes you to drive back and forth, so that's another 2 hours basically wasted. And then you have to do all the things that, like, take care of yourself. So, like, exercising, or, like, chores, or whatever. And then you're left with, like, a measly 3 hours to do what you want. And it's like, yeah, that really sucks. Because sometimes you do want to work on a personal project, or, like, play a game with friends. And then the real bad part about, like, not being able to play with friends is just, like, when you have different life schedules. Like, one of you might be working, like, early mornings, and one of you might be working the night shifts, and it's like, how do you get people together anymore, man? Like, that's the... You know, that's, like, been adult life for a while now, where we have to just kind of go, how do we, like, actually spend any time together? Like... And it's not even that. Like, if I was like, oh, well, at least I'm working my 8 hours and can afford, like, having a family, that's fine. But you can... You and the woman have to work now, or the partner. Both you and your partner have to work now. Because one person cannot be the sole breadwinner anymore. Unless they're, like, insanely blessed with, like, the greatest job that doesn't exist. I said woman because I was thinking of, like, old traditional, like, family roles where, like, man is breadwinner, woman is not. So in my mind, I'm like, yeah, both men and women have to work now because like, both of them are, like, traditional breadwinners in this dynamic now. Because the whole idea of a breadwinner is silly because it's the person who does all the work is the one who pays for everything, quote unquote. But it's like, why can't, you know, because they are the one who earns all the money, they are the ones who, like, have the most control in the household. Despite the fact that taking care of a house is a lot of work on its own. But, you know, you won't be catching John Walker Smith talking about how his wife has it so bad because she has to take care of the house while he's at work. Like, it's true, that taking care of... What am I doing? I just wanted a little bit of your spit, man! Like, it's true that taking care of your house is tough work. But sometimes some people just absolutely do not fucking take care of that shit. And I don't blame them. Like I said, it's hard work. Most people would rather just, like, contract someone else to, like, take care of their house for them. Like, I have a friend who wanted some cameras installed. And she keeps asking me, hey, so, like, how much would this cost? And I'm like, a lot. You know, you're assuming here that, like... So, for one, your assumption here is that installing cameras is easy. Which, yes, when you really break down the steps, it kind of is. But your second assumption here is that they won't, like... cost you money to do it? Like, they're installing something new in your house. Not to mention, it's fucking technology. Anything that has to do with technology is, like, way more expensive. Like, no matter what it is. So, I'm explaining that, like, yeah, prices of, like, hiring people to install shit in your house have gone up. And it's not just the price of, like, the person's, like, personal price of, like, work hours. It's also equipment. AV technicians have a lot of equipment on them, which is part of why they cost so much, right? Plus, they have to test the device to see if it works. This is, like, part of most, possibly all of a technician's, like, scope of work. You have to make sure the device fucking works. And if it doesn't work, then that's like, well, you have to make sure it does. Because otherwise, that's one unsatisfied client. So a lot of this back and forth is just kind of me going, yes, it would cost you, like, this much money to, like, get a guy in your house to, like, put up cameras and connect them to whatever it is you want to connect them to. And it's just, like, people don't realize... Because I was like this too at some point, that, like, if you want to take care of a house, you kind of have to do it yourself. We don't live in a good economic age right now, so if, you know, you can't just go assume that, like, I make enough money, I'm just going to hire someone else to fix the house for me. Plus, you know, you have to find someone you like or trust to, like, fix your shit. Because imagine you just get some, like, random people who are terrible at their job. It's a real mix. It's a real toss-up. Like, there's a lot of apps like Angie's List and stuff that exist to, like, mitigate the, or Rabbit, I believe it's called, that exists to mitigate the, like, oh, but they're a stranger who might not be qualified to do certain things. But still, even that shit can, like, fail. And you can get what happened to me in my AC fix. Now, this is a funny story, because I live in a little condo. And for a while, our AC, like, didn't work. And I said I was going to take care of it. I called an AC repair company. What was happening is it just wasn't producing heat. And because it wasn't producing heat, we were very cold for a while in winter and had to use a lot of basically, like, space heaters all over the damn place to actually manage to stay warm. The downside to this was using a lot of space heaters. Now, of course, we wanted to get the fucking heater fixed. So I call a company, we talk about how to get it, what it is we need to do to get it fixed, and the main takeaway And, like, you know, the guy comes over. And he's like, okay, it's this, like, really expensive part that, like, doesn't work. And I'm like, okay, how about you fix it? And he's like, okay. So he changes it, and he's like, you're gonna hate me for this. I was wrong, actually. It's not this really expensive part. It's this, it's the piping. It's like this technically other really expensive part that I'm not that qualified to work on, and I need like a partner to properly like replace. And I'm like, okay, get your superior and like fix this shit. Because I want to have a functioning heater already. And he's like, okay. So he fixes it after like 2 call-ins or something like that, right? Like you have to come in multiple times to fucking fix this, the piping. And he had to like get his friend there too. So that was 2 guys that I was paying for. And I'm already in the thousands of dollars, right? And I'm like, this is such bullshit. Because, like, just calling them to do a service call to check what's wrong is, like, $50 fucking dollars. And them adding the parts, fucking forget about it. It's stupid expensive. And then after they replace the pipe, they're like, oh yeah, shit, so worst news, it wasn't even that. We don't know why it's not working. And I'm losing my fucking mind. Now, at this point, neither of them have ever worked with this kind of device before, right? This kind of cooler. Cooling device. I think that's the proper term for it. Sure. Cooling device. Oh, wait, no, but it's the heater they need to fix. Yeah, they never worked with this kind of heater before. So, in their minds, they're just like, so, in order to, like, figure out anything, they basically pulled up Google and were like, serial number, model, how to fix, heating. And I'm like, brother, they're looking up fucking, YouTube tutorials on their phone while they're fixing my shit. This is a joke? Am I a fucking joke to these people? And the answer is probably. However, you know, eventually, they're like, no, we can't fix it. We don't know what's wrong with it. So, I paid like, they're just like, alright, we're thinking about a full refund of your like several $1,000s you paid. And I'm like, God fucking damn it, man. Or like, not several thousand, but like 1,000 or so. And I'm like, God fucking damn it, you better give me my fucking money back if you're not gonna like fix shit. But they don't want to just like, you know, these kinds of businesses, they don't want to just like tell you, no, we can't fix your shit, so we're just gonna like leave it broken. They want to like keep you as a customer around, especially because the way a lot of these companies make their money is through memberships. So they really want to keep a customer around, especially if they're like paying for a membership. So they're like, no, listen, we got one more thing we can try. We can send in like an older, more experienced in tech, and then he can like, he might know how to fix this problem. And I'm like, does he have any experience with this device? And they're like, yes, he does. So I'm like, okay, fucking call him over. So he comes over, right? And this is like the last attempt at like fixing this fucking heater. And he's like, hey, alright, pop it open. And he's like, okay, and if you don't know, your heater has like a list of like problems that it could have, right? it is a error code sheet or something like that. It is on one of the plates inside your device. You can pop it open and you can just, like, read whatever problem it's having. And it'll have things like, it's not turning on, it's a battery issue. It's taking too long for the heating to start, it's a fucking filter issue. And stuff like that. And so he's like, hey, I checked the error codes, and it just looks like our heating valve is broken. And I'm like, oh, it took like, what, 15 minutes for him to figure that out? And I'm like, how much does that cost? And he's like, $50. And I'm like, sick. Okay, so can I get a full refund, pay like $150 and call it a day? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. And I sent them an email that was like, hey, thanks, my heater finally fucking works now. Please only send this guy and do not send any other technicians to my location. And, oh my god. It is amazing how, like, some techs are just bad at their job for a reason. Like, I understand the plight of trades. We truly live in a world where, like, they are a dying industry. Not just because they require like arduous labor from people, but also because the payout isn't nearly as good as it used to be in the olden times. And like, people just they think there's a better way to go about making money when you don't have a degree. And maybe that is true. But trades are a reliable way to make money if you need money and a, like, career job. I'm sounding like a fucking boomer over here. Plus, trades are just useful. The real reason why it's important to know about, like, how to do a trade is because they teach you how to fix at least one thing in your house easily. Like, if you go into plumbing, hey, that's free toilet fixes. Or a sink. If you go into drywall or, like, in structuring, that's like, hey, you can fix your studs in drywall pretty fucking easy. You know, goes the same with, like, AV, electrician. Electricians is definitely the, like, big one, though. Right? That's the one everyone is trying to get into because it's the trade that pays the most, but it's also the one with, like, the highest, like, barrier of entry. But yeah, like, sometimes you just get guys who fucking suck. And it's not really your fault. You just have to keep, like, twisting their arm until they fucking cave. And, like, fix your fucking problems properly. That's why when my friend was like, oh, you can't be possibly charging me that much for something so simple, and it's like, yeah, I can. Because, like, the real trades would charge you more for this. And, like, some of you might think that it is cruel of me to charge my friends money for doing, like, an install. However, times are tough. And I think they understand full well that this shit needs to be paid out. Plus, like, you know, it's situations like I want this installed on my roof. And I'm like, cool, I'm gonna need you to get a ladder. And she's like, I don't have a ladder. And I'm like, that's not my problem. I drive a small citizen civilian car. I cannot bring a ladder with me. You need to provide that shit. And that's like an interesting question, right? Where it's like, oh, does the client or the trade have to provide all the material? And whoa! The answer is the trade. But the client has to pay for them. Like, you know, whoever the trade is needs to come in with the devices they're about, like devices, tools, or whatever they need to use. And the client doesn't need to pay for them because the hourly should cover for the tools used. So with that in mind, like charging about $150 for a 2-camera install is like a steal. Because in like here, they would charge her way fucking more. And you know, that's like a flat rate, right? I could easily go like, oh yeah, no, like it's actually like $60 an hour or something, and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm like focusing. There we go. Sick fight, dude. I love you, nerds. Not to be confused with Nurgle. Nergigante could comfortably exist in the 40k universe. I say that not with a full chest, but a half chest. Like, he's fucked up enough to possibly get away with being some, like, Elder Gods creature. Like, look at him. Fucking look at this guy. You know? Look at his goofy face when he's dead. Immortal dragon scale? Not so mortal now, huh, punk ass? But like, you know, think about Tzeentch. Like, Tzeentch loves birds. He's not really a bird, but like, I don't know. I think he definitely fits more comfortably with like Khorne. He is also purple, so he could fit with like Slaanesh a little bit, but more comfortably probably Khorne. Which I can't just like go every single like angry aggressive monster like belongs to Khorne, but then I'm like, yeah, I can, because that's what Khorne is all about. Khorne is just the easiest guy to just assign whoever to, because he's just the anger guy. He's like the anger Satan. It's easy to assign people to anger Satan. But yeah, like, she has an obsession with getting it done correctly, and it's like, there really isn't like a... There was a best way to do it. There's not like a foolproof, it has to be done this way all the time way. Like, installing devices in someone's house is very malleable in form and theory. It can look like so many other ways. God damn it! But I get it. You want something to be done the right way, so you want a professional to do it. The thing is, it's really difficult to find people who are trained professionally in certain things, because there's no real professional standard for a lot of like installation stuff, other than like a company saying they're professionals, or them charging you a shit ton of money because they're like, yeah, some of our guys are like licensed in this like sub thing that like really doesn't matter. Still though, I give her like, you know, I still think that giving her a flat rate of like 150 is better than being like, I work $30 an hour. Because frankly, like quite frankly, I don't actually know how long it would take me to really install those cameras. And my guess is about 3 hours, maybe. But you know what? I'm gonna try to talk about something a bit more positive. My PC works well. My new PC is pretty good. I haven't, like, actually,
tried running anything on it that isn't like some basic bullshit. In fact, I think I only ran Minesweeper on it just to see if it, like, how well it renders it, and the answer is pretty fucking well. Minesweeper is a really fun game when you get down to it, but sometimes it gets a little too easy when you just know exactly. Like, some seeds can be really tough, and then other times it's like, oh, I mean, of course there's a bomb there. The thing is, to me at least, Minesweeper, you know, we've reached the apex of gaming where, like, now classic games are more fun when they're just, like, part of, like, a bigger game, like playing a mini game. Like, playing a Minesweeper minigame is more fun than playing actual Minesweeper. To me, at least. And, like, I know this is, like, a Chad is he cooked kind of thing, but it's like, hey, man. I like playing Ooga Boogo's, I like, The Legend of Zelda fucking Splooshka Boom minigame. And, like, the reason I could never finish Yakuza was because of the, like, 50 mini games that the game throws at you before advancing the story. Mini games I all but wanted to, like, absolutely win at. Which Monster Hunter monster is, like, the worst driver? I'm trying to think here of, like, who will, like, hop into a car and immediately just get mad at, like, everyone on the road. Dude, where's my fucking cat? Can you, like, tank some damage already? Please? Oh, man. Sometimes you just get hit by 2 hitboxes. This shit sucks, actually. You know, you know what, Nergigante, I take it back. You kinda suck. God. Hey, let's go. Look who's getting some tail now, huh? it's a fucking sex joke. And then he runs. Tail just for me. Nergigante would be a pretty bad driver. He'd just, like, hop onto a car and just, like, silently get mad at everyone before, like, someone cuts him off, and then he'd just, like, hold down the fucking honk for, like, an extended period of time. Like, at least 3 to 4 seconds. But not, like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, 1, 2, 3, 4, you know. The seconds, long seconds. Is there any honey on this map? I want to make more mega potions. I'm kind of hurt. Could really use some sugar, sugar. Oh, honey, honey. Who wrote that song? Was that the Beatles? The Bee Gees? Who did that one? I don't know. I'm still uninformed. There's no cats here. I don't want to see them. What? Where are they? Are they below me? Yo, fishing? I've not fished in a Monster Hunter game in a hot minute. They must have changed so much. Oh, they're up there. Hello, fellow felines. 'Tis I, the Scat Man. Skibidi bidi yunduru doot. Yunduru doot. Skibidi bidi yunduru skibidi bidi toilet. That was terrible. I reverted into like a 10-year-old for a second. Alright, the trap whiz. Yeah, that's gross. Why are you whizzing? You know who would be a terrible monster? Or like a terrible driver? That Urgon. He just couldn't see shit. And he'd be stuck like... He'd just be stuck on the wheel. Like, looking... Trying to like raise his head to like a 55-degree angle or some shit where you can actually see anything on the road. Like... And then he'd just hit like rocks everywhere in his car. But... Part of me wonders if there's a way to like easily trap him just so we can get this hunt done and over with sooner. It is fucked up that the path of least resistance and the one that costs you an extra like 200 monster money is also the path that gives you more rewards. Like, I don't know. I never really liked the idea that capturing monsters gives you better rewards than just killing them. Because, like, I know some Monster Hunter players would say, oh, it depends on the monster if it's, like, easier or harder to do a capture. But I'm like, no, it's always fucking easier. Because all you have to do for a capture is place, like, do, like, 3 things. Whereas, like, killing a monster is, you know, you continue to fight it. Get the fuck out of here with your, like, oh, well, oh, when you really think about it, like, capturing a monster is actually way harder because stupid reason, stupid reason, stupid reason. It's like, no, it's not. It's never fucking harder to, like, trap a monster. The only time you do it is if you're, like, poor. Like me. Or if you're stupid. Can you... Fuck! Oh my god, how many flashbangs we got in this bitch? Damn! Oh my god. Cool! So, like, I definitely rolled that early, but I seriously don't know what the... Okay. Sorry, let me... Dark Souls brain, roll in, stupid, you have to roll in. I'm not fucking anything right now. Fry me some Gaiju. Gajao? Yeah, fry me some Gajao, please, thanks. I'm tempted to just, like, fucking abandon this shit and come back to it later. Like, my pride be damned. I think it's easier if I just fucking leave and return to this later. When I can actually, like, fight him. Like, how many potions did I fucking waste on him? Too many, to be honest. Like... It's simply too difficult for me to, like, know when and how to dodge the giant enemy crab. I mean, functionally, when you really think about it, Nergigante is kind of like a crab. He's, like, just full of fucking exoskeleton bullshit. And he's, he's got immortal dragon scales, like... That's pretty crab-like to me. He doesn't walk sideways, though, which is, like, the one difference, but, like... I'm sure there's a good reason. I'm sure he, like, used to, right? Like, maybe he evolved the ability to move forward or something. Oh, he's back to being asleep. Piece of shit. We should get barrels. Oh, no, it's definitely not roll in. Am I stunned? For the love of God, don't tell me I'm stunned. It'd be like the worst fucking thing to hear. Oh, he turned around. What the fuck? I blocked both of those! That was almost all my health! Man! Can you please just fucking die already? I beg you. Stop! Stop screaming at me! I'm sorry I killed your brother, Anakin! You were the chosen one! You're supposed to wear the Nergigante on your head, not become it! Can you please just eat shit already? Please, I beg you. I am so fucking done with you! I just don't know, gang. I'm sure somebody here is gonna be like, oh, well, you see, the Nergigante dodge pattern is actually very simple. You have to roll diagonally and then roll backwards, because that's the only way you could actually avoid this attack. And okay, buddy, like, why don't they just make the roll, like, why don't they just make the attack obviously dodgeable in, like, an easy-to-understand way? Right? You don't roll in, you know, you don't roll in. So then what do you fucking do? You roll sideways? Wow, cool. You ever, like, wonder what it's like to watch a small explosion go off? That's a stupid question. 4th of July exists. Like, we've seen tiny explosions go off. Called fireworks. Fireworks are fun. People love fireworks. I love fireworks. You know, when done safely and not directly under a power line. Come on, I just want to get on top of you. There we go. Monster Rider. They should call this game Monster Rodeo. It's crazy. There was like a video I saw not long ago that was like, why aren't there more Monster Hunter-like games? Or like games where you just hunt big fuck you monsters in like a game of the same variety where you upgrade into materials. And a lot of it was kind of just like, this game was already very like love-hate. Like, you love the concept more than you love the actual like way it mechanically functions at all. Oh god, and he fucking uber tracks you too. I love that. You have flashy cages ready? Awesome, I missed. The big reason for it is just like, these games are already a fucking nightmare to create, and doing it correctly just takes so much like effort. Plus, a lot of them didn't understand how to monetize them either. Because they're like, how do we actually make our money back off this game? And like, you could just release it like a normal game, but because Monster Hunter already has so many like things in it that are very MMO-ish, other developers really want to push that like MMO thing when it comes to Monster Hunter. So they try to monetize in like a weirdo way, where they're like, yo, if you play this game enough, you can like earn these like awesome rewards with like login bonuses and shit. In fact, Worlds has login bonuses too. Truly, the living state of a Nergigante is absolutely ridiculous. Like, this motherfucker lives only to be a problem to the environment and nothing else. What games did they look at? They looked at Dauntless, which was a fucking wacko... Like, it was a fucking... It was a cool game, conceptually. A bit too similar to Monster Hunter, if you ask me. But cool. And then they kind of like they set a microtransaction system in there where like you're not really learning any new weapons. Everything is just like flat upgrades in like an even more boring way. They were like unmemorable in like I remember somebody saying they're very unmemorable, and to be honest, I already don't remember shit about the monsters from Dauntless. Like, they are truly some of the most like gooberest goobs that are around, and I can't remember anything about them other than like they existed. They lived, they laughed, they asked for my credit card information, and really that's all you can ask about some. And truly, that is all you can really ask about monsters. Pretty high up there on the monster spectrum for like learning your credit card information, and like Clair Obscur looks like a poor attempt at like playing a Persona game, but you know what actually, like, you know, visually it reminded me of? DMC Devil May Cry. And I cannot explain why, other than the fact that it just like tries to mocap and look like so real in a way that like kind of makes it awkward, if that makes any sense. Like, it... Oh, okay, buddy, you're gonna like do an attack now finally? And I get that's like part of its style, right? It wants to be like melodramatic because that's just how the French write. And, you know, because it wants to be a little anime. A little anime freakazoid. Okay. Is he tired? Okay. See you later, dude. That was weird. Man, these guys really are just like giant dumb cats. So like if you wanted to answer the question of like which one of them is a terrible driver, really just think about a cat driving, and there you have your answer. Nergigante is like one of those white and black cats that's like really aggressive. Although the like tuxedo cats aren't really that aggressive, to be honest. But tuxedo cats are more like the cute ones that are like very prim and proper. Come on. Because truly, creating like a good Monster Hunter like is not like creating a good Pokemon like. Because like the thing with Pokemon likes is they're RPGs at the end of the day that are just very number crunchy. You can easily make like a crunchy numbers RPG with some good monster designs. Monster Hunter games like need a lot of really complex shit for the AI of the monster to make it feel like it's actually a challenge, and for you to actually have like a good gimmick to it. And then you have shit like, you know, all of them try to have some kind of unique gimmick, like Wild Hearts has the Fortnite build gimmick. Dauntless has its like weapon arts or whatever. Or it has something, right? Because it's like Dauntless isn't just like the same kind of Monster Hunter game, but with like no sauce, right? Oh, I don't remember. What the fuck? Bro. And oh god, what's it called? Dragon's Dogma has like the climbing on monsters mechanic, and even more like cutting parts off bullshit. Truly, I think of Dragon's Dogma as like the greatest spiritual successor to Monster Hunter, and like truly the game they wanted to make originally for this. Because like Monster Hunter originally was, in their mind, like a fantasy game. Like they wanted to have a magic system for it and everything. Oh, I got so fucking lucky there. Oh man. Is he gonna? Okay, he's not. He doesn't swing tail. Okay. Wow, imagine actually dodging an attack successfully. Where are you going with that? Oh, now we're getting into it. Now we're feeling the rhythm of the fight. Never mind. I need heal. Oh, yeah, he fucked off. He fucked off. Alright, good match. Good round. Good round. You know, let's take 5. Let's talk to our coach real quick and get a drink of water. Alright, hold on. My coach is giving me my special pills. I really need these, otherwise I can't like go in the ring. Yeah, they're called Adderall. They're just sugar pills, actually. Hot environment, the only place honey can grow naturally. And alright, there's nerds. Fucking hell, he just jumped it. Ow. Okay, man, alright, man. Okay, ow. Fuck you too, bro. Can you get... Hey, time out! And it still fucking hit me! I'm still glad Switch has like a fucking... Oh, he's limping. Alright, we almost got him, lads. We almost got him. Oh, get on his back. Get on your butts and ride. See, this is what Freddie Mercury meant when he made Loving His Bicycle. It was actually all about the Nergigante and the endemic species of... and the native population of cat people that helped me trap the monster. Still got your fucking tail? Fucking come back here, you bitch. Have a stone. I want that tail. Nergigante currently portraying the role of a 20-something woman exiting the club, and me, the 20-something predatory man who has had one too many slammed back. And C, come back here, give me some tail. That would make your audience hate you in 2 seconds. I'll go. And now we put the bombs. And now we put the little bomb. And now we put the pitfall. Oh god, where's he flying to? Hey, come back here. Okay. Alright, what are you gonna do over there? Come on! I'm here, you son of a bitch! Is he just immune to all traps? What a piece of shit. Jeez Louise. Where are my potions at? Yeah, go for the cat, go for the cat. Alright, well, he's just immune to that shit too, I guess. He's still going? Stop! Oh shit, he did the spikes! What the fuck, dude? Actually, this attack is very easy to dodge if you shut the fuck up. Maybe I need to watch like someone else fight the Nergigante so I can tell how the fuck you're actually supposed to dodge that attack. Because, holy shit, I genuinely, I've tried rolling in, rolling sideways. I guess you just run it? Do you just run around it? Maybe. Like, fuck you if your weapon's drawn out. Just die, I guess. Fuck, I need to eat. Sorry, Nergigante, hold on. Oops, accidentally hit the crouch. Okay, can't eat the chef special. I can't hit it with the chef special. Fucking sucks. Uh-huh. Okay, let's just hope he's, like, close to death and I don't have to fucking play silly patty with him anymore. Dodge his stupid overhead claw attack. Bitch had it coming the moment he started fucking flying. I just, you know, again, maybe somebody smarter than me who's, like, played more Monster Hunter and has less of a life and job could, like, tell me what the fuck I'm doing wrong here with against that flying attack. And maybe the answer is literally just run away from it. And that's, you know, I always forget that that is an option that you have in this game. Because, like, running away from attacks doesn't sound very fun, and you have your weapon drawn out a lot, so... Oh... Blocking it also is, like, tough, because they don't die. Like, they still do damage through your block. That's why you want to get shit like extra guard. I'm out of bombs, so, like, here, asshole. Enjoy this shit. Come on, man, you already roared! Fucking hell, a shockwave too? You shouldn't have. I'm like halfway across the fucking thing! Ah, fuck! I'm like the full stage away, why did that stun me? Hate this fucking guy, dude. I'm just gonna fucking... forget it. I want my shit back. I feel unfairly robbed by the circumstances of my death. You know, in life, there's certain things such as highway robbery, and then there's just getting fucking theft. Just actual theft. Let me think here. This is the flash pod. This is the poop pod. This should be Tranks. Headshot, Tranks. Stand up, Tranks. Sit down, Tranks.
Dude, Kendrick Lamar, Monster Hunter, drink parody.
It is just like the hunter constantly getting up and like taking shots of his potions. Somebody make that. I don't want to have to take it into my own hands to do this. Mostly because, like, well, who owns, fuck, what was that album called? Oh, I don't remember. Shit, now it looks stupid. I made that whole joke about Kendrick Lamar's drink, and I don't remember. Good Kid, Mad City, yeah, like, who owns Good Kid, Mad City? The album. Like, who would cease and desist me for creating that video? Because Kendrick is currently, like, self-publishing, or, like, he exists, as not part of, like, any kind of label record other than his own. So my question is, like, does he also own Good Kid, Mad City? And would he get pissed if someone were to make a Monster Hunter parody of Trank featuring the Hunter and Nergigante as attractive 20-year-old woman leaving the cult? I shouldn't be allowed to have a mic. I blocked. Boo. Boo. Alright, here's what we do. We climb up the Pillar of Salt, and we hit it. We climb up Gamora. Because she's a Pillar of Salt, brother. Are there no other monsters in this area? I didn't realize that. We haven't been, like, carpet bombed by a Basil Goose in a hot minute, so I'm just like, are there even other monsters here? Excuse me, you know. There we go. Now, I'm gonna climb up this fucking pedestal. You pitiful. Why don't you drool, piece of shit, and take a hit. Take a hint that I'm into you. Yeah, I'm way into you. Yeah. Gonna ride you all night long. Yeah. I hate this song, actually. God, he's spinny. I should remember to be using my flash pods more. Alright, you gonna do this shit. I'm gonna do this shit. Okay. Well, I guess you have time to recover from that. Excuse me, Nergigante, I do not fucking care. Alright, take that shit off. Get stun locked, idiot! Get stun locked, idiot! I could really use a sharpen right about now. Right about now. Right about now. You know, it's so funny that I can shoot rocks at it. Like, I look at this fucking thing and I'm just like, does it even, like... Does it even comprehend pain the same way that I do? Like, is me pelting it with rocks the same kind of level of pain as me getting pelted with rocks? Probably not, right? But it's like... The nerd will still experience pain by rock all the same. Alright, you did a little spinny. Oh, man. My weapon is orange. Where are you taking me? Sir, ma'am, please. I could really use a sharpen. Alright, they're tired. Now's my chance, Nope! Not my chance. Please. Leave me be. I'm a bee. I'm a bee. I wonder if the Pope listens to Black Eyed Peas. Why are you in the magma pits, bro? Get the fuck out of there. Get out of there. Oh shit, my health can still grow? Oh, no, that was just like a shittier health potion. Alright, bitch ass. Okay, well, that didn't fucking work. Oh wait, no, that was the spikes attack. Okay, maybe I needed to run, like, more ahead of time. Oh, come on. No, please, you're so sexy, haha. Stop, brother! Okay, yeah, go fight the kitty for a minute. The real men are playing the game. Can you put down a fucking not Thunderbug cage? Because that's useless on him. Flash cage. Yeah. Put one down. Put one down, pass it around. Night cats on the beer on the wall. Oh, baby. I love getting a full combo off. Yeah. Can I please leave in some way or shape or form? Okay, well, now he's tired. Wait, my friends. El Gatos. Yes! Friendship! Lead Hunter! Be my friend! How'd I fucking get up there? Help me, blue flies. Where do I go? Which route do I take? Which way am I supposed to go? He will chase you high and low. But you need to go to a place you'll never go. It's in the lair of Zormagdaros. No. This is your only way forward. Zormagdaros. Oh. Well, you asked, and now you know. I'm jumping the water. But never be why, you know I'm a hunter. We can't swim. We're not allowed. After try. Genuinely, I do think swimming in that game is absolutely fucking atrocious, and is the work of like some fucking evil sub-deity. Come on, dude. I need you to get down here. It's more fun here. Yes, 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 yes. On the other side of the ledge. Okay, I can't rewrite him yet. Okay, well, I guess that in... Oh, is he gonna go to bed now? Did he buy, Zara Magna... Did he buy... Shit. I'm kind of looking at these crystals. This is fucking pretty. Every now and again, I am reminded that Monster Hunter does know how to make a good environment. Which is definitely, it's like MO from, like, the days of old. It wanted you to be immersed in, like, the beautiful environments. Alright. And now... Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, may I have your attention, please? Oh, fuck off. His tail was in a fucking way. Whew! Alright, he's gonna break the... I don't even know if Screamer Pods, like, do anything. Alright. Head slam. Yeah, let's fucking go. LP with the tail break. From the top rope. Oh my god, bruh. I swear to god! No, 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 no. Woo! Alright, I figured out the counterplay. It is like jumping. There are still crystals falling down. Alright, Screamer Pod really just does nothing to him. Good to know. There are like 5 traps here and none of them can hold him! Can you fuck off? Do I even have any more fucking potions left? Oh my god, the leader left us. Woo! So, such a good thing I figured out how to like actually get around that now. I may have to use my secret technique. I can't run up this wall. Fuck. Did I break his other arm? No. Ooh! Man. Tough but fair really is a good way to describe Nurg. What a well-designed boss. I feel like we had a journey, everyone. Not only did we, like, go from not understanding what to do from his, like, flying attack, but... and then to, like, countering it perfectly, but also just, you know, really being pushed backs against the wall, last potion. Oh wait, fuck the tail. Oh god. Almost forgot to carve the tail. Like losing all our resources slowly, and then this shit. I hate you, Nergigante. Can you just get captured? You fucking bitch. Oh. Oh, dude, careful. You're gonna smack your head with your little horns. Look at this final hit. I'm trying to... Look at that. My leg is, like, fully reeled back. I'm fucking batting his arm. This is Brad. Still no gem. Fuck, dude. Dream Core. And, like, 3 fucking base stones. Amazing. Sheath Jewel. Another fucking defense jewel. Awesome. You know, maybe Monster Hunter does suck, actually.